Hey everybody, and welcome back to yet another Shady Flea Market, and today we are at the shadiest of the shady. Now, people have asked me before, Jeremy, has anything ever bad happened trying to take video of any of these places? I mean, some of these places look pretty rough. And the answer is 99% of the time, no, nothing bad ever happens. But this is one of those rare 1% times, and it's at this place that I'm not gonna name. First impressions are basically it's a hoarder's den with a few decent booths. I don't want to talk too much shit because I did see a few vendors here that have some nice booths. But it was at this point, coming around the corner, we noticed that we were being followed. And actually, if you look back in this previous scene, this guy right here, he was darting around watching us. And I didn't actually know that at the time, I was just trying to take video. But once we were going down this hallway, it was pretty obvious that we had two fairly large guys following directly behind us, and they were very interested in what we were doing. I was trying to get some video of this booth because it looked like it had some pretty cool stuff, but you know, it's covered in chicken wire. I can't really focus on much of anything. But once we got done with this and I turned the corner, those guys behind us boxed us in, and as I was looking at another booth, another guy came from the front and boxed us in from that direction as well. Pretty much not letting us out. Until I noticed what was kind of going on and I put my camera in my pocket, then they kind of backed off a little bit. So let's slowly back away from this flea market. Again, I'm not gonna mention what this flea market's name is or where it's at because I genuinely don't think anyone should be coming here. Not so much because they wanted us to stop taking video, again, that's not a problem, but just the way they acted. If you ever go into a place and people are actually like following you around and watching what you're looking at or taking video of, that's never a good sign, and I will leave it to you to figure out why. Anyway, let's get to a place that's actually fun to be, and that would be Gizmo's. And if you actually started watching this series when we first started doing it, one of the very first flea markets we went to was Gizmo's. And I haven't been back since, and that was like, what, a couple of years ago at this point? It's crazy. And that's always a good tactic if you go to flea markets, because a lot of these places change drastically even after just a couple of months. If you don't know how flea market works, basically every single one of these booths is being charged rent to display whatever they've got, and if they get tired of paying that rent, a new vendor's coming in. And one of those new vendors actually had this thing up here, which nearly took my breath away. This is a train set, an actual train set with dinosaurs. I had to do like several takes, and this is like the product image from Amazon. It's amazing. And yes, if you want to, you can come with dinosaurs. And I do every day. That's all I want to do is come with dinosaurs. So this is actually a thing you can buy. It's not just here at this flea market. It's on Amazon. Check it out if you want a good laugh. And over here, just kind of out of nowhere, is a VHS tape pre-order bonus for Banjo-Kazooie for this Nintendo 64. And if you don't know what this is basically what you would get if you went to Toys R Us back in the day and pre-ordered Banjo-Kazooie. They'd hand you this VHS tape. And it's essentially just a hype video for what the game would be whenever you got it.
Country and GoldenEye that's ready to kick some serious excitement into Nintendo 64. It's Banjo-Kazooie!
So yeah, that's actually super cool. Is it $9.99 cool? Probably not. Back here, I was really glad to see this video game booth is still around. Apparently this guy has been here forever, and I'm glad he is because he's just about every time I come here, he's got some new and cool stuff, including Wirehead for the Sega CD. Over here, we've got the Haunting in box, and we've also got a Sega CD backup RAM cart, which is something you don't see every day. He's got some decent prices on a lot of these games, especially for being in the box. And over here, we just got a PlayStation clock for some reason. I don't know if it actually, like, the PlayStation worked, but apparently the clock part of it does. And over here, browsing through the stuff they've got in the glass case, got some Lufia. My brother swears to me that Lufia is like a really good RPG series. I don't know if I believe him. Got over here, we got Ring of Red and Silent Hill 2. Always excited when I see Ring of Red. That's actually a really good strategy mech RPG. And Grandia down here on the PlayStation. Some other stuff, especially Ogre Battle. Really not a bad price for that one. I've seen it go for way more. Over here in the glass case, we've got some questionable games being displayed. And I mean, stuff like Conquer gets me excited, but I can't say how many other people get too excited over that. But we do have Shining Force and Beyond Oasis, which those are legit games. And if you missed it last time, this booth has a full-on GameCube demo that you would see in stores back in the day. This is the real deal, and it's worth coming to this flea market every time just to see this thing, at least for me anyway. But yeah, that's gonna do it for Gizmo's Galleria. There was actually a few other places in here that I wanted to get some video of, but it's on the weekend and there's a lot of people in this place. But if you're in Brownsburg, this is actually the same city where the Toy Box was in the previous video. I think it was the previous video, maybe the one before that, but it is well worth coming over here to check this out and see what all they've got. A lot of cool stuff here. And finally, we're gonna go over here to Washington Square Mall in Indianapolis, and this was my childhood mall. This was basically the first mall I ever went to, the first arcade I ever went to, the first KB Toys I ever went to was all located in this mall. And there's so many good memories here. And it actually used to be one of the busiest malls in Indianapolis and also one of the biggest. But as you can see, the times have changed, and calling this a dead mall would probably be generous. There are some cool places like that Gamers Loot we're walking right next to, but there is also this place hidden in the very back of the mall, and I think open like 3 hours a week. It's called Figure Collections, and it's a legit little store. I wish the guy was open more, but I can't really blame him for not being open because I think the foot traffic in this mall is me and my brother every week that we come down here to see if he's actually open. This was, however, one of those weekends where he was open, and I asked him if I could take some video. The guy's really nice, and he's got a lot of stuff here. The main focus of what this store has is mostly wrestling figures, like old and new, and there's a lot here, but you know, we've also got a lot of Marvel figures, a lot of Star Wars, and a little bit of everything, really. So it's just one of those stores that's really fun to look through and see what you can find, especially like this collection of old Nickelodeon stuff from the 90s. I was a huge fan of Nickelodeon. It was kind of my thing back in the day, and he's got a nice collection of stuff here that's fun to look at. Also a nice selection of Power Rangers and this Borg that wants to just stare into your soul. A lot of this stuff is late 90s, it seems like late 90s, early 2000s. Things that I remember seeing as I was getting out of toys and just wasn't collecting. You've also got a few tables filled with just stuff that you can pick up and play with. Or when we were there were some kids looking around and playing with the stuff. It's always fun to be in a toy store and feel like it's a toy store as well, and not just a bunch of, you know, fat, sweaty people like us walking around and judging everything. And towards the front of the store, we've got this awesome Street Fighter 2 arcade cabinet. It's so damn cool. I've seen it on before, and it's unfortunately not plugged in this time. But down here to the left, there we go, there's a Mortal Kombat Rock'em Sock'em robot game. I wanted this so bad as a kid. I was such a huge Mortal Kombat fan. Yeah, it's with the little LED match counter and stuff. It's so cool. Love that thing. But yeah, that's gonna do it for Washington Square Mall and Figure Collections. This place is actually really cool. If you can get here on Saturday around like maybe 1 or 2, that seems to be about the best time to get here, and he'll actually be open, so I highly recommend it. But yeah, thanks for watching us this time, and check us out next time for a little bit more retro game and toy hunting goodness.